So, what is the next 5 to 10x coin on Binance? Honestly, I don't know. I haven't even used Binance. Honestly, I've not used Binance in almost 2 years, and that kind of boggles the mind, because I mainly when I'm getting out of crypto, I use Gemini, Coinbase, and those fiat gateways. But most of the projects I was investing in, um, I was using KuCoin and all these other small exchanges because they were like very low cap coins. And in the bear market, most projects didn't get onto Binance because Binance would have listing fees and all that. But recently, I've been using 1inch Exchange to trade. It's basically an aggregator for DEXs, Uniswap as well. So honestly, I can't really say. In terms of what I think Binance could list, Binance has really been behind the game now because Binance is watching what's happening with DeFi, and they did kind of allude to them doing something with DeFi. And I know there've been some rumors about them possibly turning themselves into a DAO. But I think centralized exchanges are shaking in their boots because they're seeing Uniswap and the growth it has. And if this keeps on going, because the business of charging for exchange listings is gone. Because when projects have to pay $500,000 to $1 million just to get listed on an exchange, that is done. Uniswap now lets any exchange, any project, create their own market. And as opposed to, because with IEOs on Binance, for example, or any exchange, right? I've been told that most of the funds raised on IEOs go towards market making and don't actually go to the project. But now projects, especially the best projects, the top projects, the cream of the crop, they can skip that, save those funds, and do everything on a DEX. Do everything on a DEX, or use that money towards creating a liquidity pool to reward the audience for creating a market. So because of that, I think everything began with Compound, because Compound was, when it launched, it became a top 20 market cap project just like that, without going on Binance. This happened on a DEX, to a point where all these other exchanges, they couldn't ask Compound to pay the list, because the people wanted Compound, and Compound said we don't plan to pay for anything. So they had to list it because you can't not list a top 20 market cap project. And I think that broke the entire model to a point. I don't think you should be looking for the next 5 to 10x coin on Binance. I think you should be looking on a DEX, not Binance, because by the time it's on Binance, those games are over. Okay, whether Binance, Coinbase, for example, with Band Protocol, yes, I know Band is on Binance, but they had an IEO, right? So maybe that's kind of an exception. But now, if you're a good project, why would you pay when you could possibly get listed for free just by getting traction on a DEX? So I think that's kind of my take. And the best way for that, go to CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, see what projects are trading, right? What new projects are trading. Also leverage Token Metrics for research. I think, because kind of as mentioned, it's very tough to do in-depth research on these new coins because they're pumping very quickly. So right now, honestly, it's really just based on TA, based on technology, based on products that have really good kind of spins or angles, right? Kind of look and see what the community is saying. Bill, any comments to add?
Certainly. So it's totally understandable for somebody who is learned about what's been going on in crypto and say, hi, can you tell me what the next 5x coin is? Now, that's understandable, but I would refer you to a guy actually on Twitter. His name's Peter Brandt. He's older than me. And one of the things that he wrote recently was that he said some of his biggest winners were trades that he got in that actually shocked him. Like he didn't think they were going to go up 5 or 10x in quotes, right? But they did. Now, that's because he did his homework. That's because he used his method and the market surprised him. So my answer to how do you make 5x is just try to do if you want that kind of return, you're going to have to go into those DEXs. You're going to have to really research the space. In other words, if we could just get on the air and find the next 10x coin with no work, then we'd be having this live stream from our yacht, right? We wouldn't be having a live stream, right? Yeah. So, homework plays a part, and maybe I got to come up with a new word because everyone hears homework and goes, right? Just learning, right? learning to trust your data, your information, and yourself. Okay. You do enough of that, you wake up one day and you'll have a 5X.
Yeah, well said, Bill. Well said. I mean, because if I can reflect into the 5X investments or more that I've had, it was doing the research. I mean, there isn't really a way around that. Doing the research, because when you do the research, that gives you the confidence to hodl, right? Because, for example, like I was a private sale investor in Chainlink, and Chainlink definitely, when I got in, it did more than a 5X. I mean, obviously, I sold and ended up buying back in now as a trade, but when I sold, because we were entering basically a bear market, right? And when I got into Chainlink, we got into the private sale. There was no public sale. It wasn't trading anywhere. It was just a website that, and it just said contact us to buy tokens. And there wasn't like anybody out there covering Chainlink at that time. So we had to do the research and say, okay, you know what? We think this is a good project to invest in. Then same thing with all these other projects that have done well, right? And right now, the project I like personally is Helium, right? Helium is still kind of under the radar still, even though Coinbase mentioned they're planning to possibly list it, even though they were on the Palm show and the price has gone up, I think, like, because there was no ICO, it was a mined coin, right? So technically the cost basis is kind of hard to determine, right? But let's say it's down to 5X already, right? And I think that's still very undervalued. So I would say if you want to find the next coin, honestly, on Binance, that's tough because Binance they list projects that by then they're kind of already out there, right? If you want to find one that's undervalued, I would say go to Token Metrics and see what has good fundamentals, good technology, but has not taken off yet, right? And one project I have in my portfolio that I've been bullish on, that's still for the most part been very, very dormant at the moment, has been Matic Network, right? That's one I'm able to buy, even though nobody's really talking much about it and it's not moving, because I've done my research, which gives me confidence, right? Because when you do your research, you have confidence to get in and hold and wait for the market to realize how undervalued that coin is, right? You're willing to basically stand on an island and wait for everyone to realize how sexy the island is in a way, right? So you have to be willing to be the first one on the island. You have to be willing to be that first astronaut on the moon before everyone else comes. Because when everyone else is coming, then it's too late, right? You have to be that Elon Musk, that Jeff Bezos, who's willing to build rocket ships to the moon when no one else wants to do it, when everyone else thinks it's risky, right? So I think that's where research comes in handy.